Hey guys, Ramen King here with another cozy game review. Remember last month when I reviewed Silent Hope? You know, that super cute dungeon crawler from Marvelous? How about Facebook's old restaurant management game called Cafe World? Well, today we're going to be looking at Cuisineer, a half roguelite, half restaurant manager game from developer Battle Brew Productions. Shout out to XSeed Games for sending me a key and allowing me to review this very deceivingly cute game. I say deceivingly because the game's dungeoning is actually really challenging, but we'll get into why later. The game starts with the main character Palm, who receives a letter implying that her dying parents want to see Palm one more time before departing for heavenly unknowns. Palm heads back to their small hometown of, I'm gonna butcher this, Pae? Anyway, it's where their restaurant is located. We head inside and meet one of our good friends, Biscotti, who gives us another letter from Palm's parents clarifying that they've left Pael for a vacation, and that an advertisement said it would be a heavenly experience with never-before-seen places in this mortal realm. With her parents gone, and after a little bit of reminiscing with Biscotti, Palm decides to reopen the family restaurant. However, the happiness and excitement comes to a screeching halt as we're eventually visited by Iberico from the Pael tax office, who tells us that Palm's parents had accrued a massive amount of debt, and since we've come back and reopened the restaurant, it's now up to us to pay back the debt. Oh my god, my Tom Nook PTSD is kicking in. Cuisineer in general is very fun, but expect a lot of grind with challenging and at times frustrating dungeoning fun, with a side of slightly underwhelming and bland restaurant managing. Throughout the game, you'll be flip-flopping between the two of these each day. You'll be traveling to different dungeons to gather ingredients, and then you open the restaurant to pay your debts and further increase the strength of your weapons and armor. Let's start with the dungeoning. Just like in any roguelite, you're tasked with going through procedurally generated dungeons and have to proceed through floors until you find the final boss. The main healing item is in the form of your boba drinks that you can get from the big boba girls. Annoying enemies are very quickly introduced, such as the Chilis, which are these little flame-blowing enemies, and Kailans, which come in trios that spout out a bunch of projectiles at you non-stop. You'll also discover that enemies do not stop tracking you until they've performed their attack, so prepare to be punished for not dodging at the literal first frame of when they attack. Don't even get me started on the Squeaky enemies. These fuckers will shoot you from far from across the map and will not stop. The worst part is, all these projectiles together make it really hard to see, and smaller enemies will start smacking you out of nowhere. Like, where did that guy come from? It can get insane, but it's so satisfying finally clearing a dungeon. If you die, you do end up dropping whatever you collected in the dungeon, so try not to be too greedy and teleport out when you're safe, or low on healing bobas. Overall, dungeoning in Cuisineer is some great fun. And as cute as these chickens are, there's something so satisfying of swinging a huge hammer and slaying a whole group of them and looting their little drumsticks. I'd say the only real negative here is that I seem to suffer from frame drops and slight stuttering when there are too many enemies or effects on screen, and I'm running on a higher end PC. I also think that ranged enemies could be nerfed ever so slightly, but that might just be me being a baby. Next, the town and restaurant. After looting a whole bunch of ingredients from the dungeon and when you return to the town, you can use those ingredients with all the recipes you have at your restaurant to earn yourself money. It's also the only way you can earn money. In the beginning of the game, you really don't start out with too much of anything, so it's up to you to collect recipes from the quests around town, decorate your restaurant with furniture from Alder, and buy the tools needed to cook the food at your restaurant. Now, I did mention before that cooking's a little bit underwhelming, even during the really busy times. Most of it is just because it's a waiting game. You wait for a customer to come in, wait for the customer to order something, walk up to the tool needed to make the thing, wait until it cooks, wait for the customer to pick up their food and eat it, then wait for them to pay. There's also a feature that boosts what kind of visitors you get. So maybe if I get a whole bunch of furniture that attracts the really fast kids, it might make things a little more fast-paced and fun. During the times that I'm forced to run the restaurant, I just pull up a YouTube video to get through it all. I think it could be improved a little more if the tools had minigames in themselves, kind of like Cooking Mama, where you have to interact with something to help successfully make a dish. Something that forces a little more interaction between all the waiting. Moving on, I'm absolutely in love with this game's food art. Next to really good pixel art, I'd say food art is my next favorite kind of art that I like to see in video games. Inside your journal, you can zoom in on all the food, and it's just so, delicious. I think I just drooled a little. I also really enjoyed this game's sound and music. As a foodie, I definitely find the sounds of sizzling and cooking very appealing. The town's theme is very likable and lighthearted, and I would say it's my favorite part of the soundtrack. All in all, despite the slightly sluggish restauranting, I've still found myself at 30 hours of solid game time, and I really did enjoy my time in the small town of Pael. I totally suggest this for all you foodies and dungeoners out there who want a cute, challenging game with a cut of casual restauranteering, if that's even a word. And that's the end of the video, guys. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and comment down below what you think of Cuisineer, and I'll see you all in the next review video.